Nigeria's political landscape may have witnessed one of its most significant judicial interventions ahead of the 2027 general elections. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday, 15th June, ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to deregister 5 political parties: the African Democratic Congress (ADC), Accord Party, Action Alliance, Action People's Party and Zenith Labour Party for allegedly failing to meet constitutional requirements regarding electoral performance. The ruling has triggered intense debate across the country, with many asking whether the decision would reshape the opposition landscape and redefine the race for presidency in 2027. One of the biggest questions emerging from the judgment concerns former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who is the presidential flag bearer of the ADC after emerging winner of the party's primary election held in May. In an exclusive interview with True Vision Television, public affairs analyst Jide Ojo said the ruling is suspicious as it's coming at the wrong time. According to him, these parties have conducted their primary elections and have candidates representing them across the country.
If this was a judgment that came in 2023, it may well have been in order. But to say that a judgment that is coming when party primaries have already been held, I've read the snippet from the papers. One, the dynamics have changed from what it was in 2023. You ask INEC to activate Section 225A, which says if you don't win seats or if you don't win, you don't have 25% or is it 15% of votes in the presidential election. Yes, but today, those parties now have, for instance, Accord Party now has a governor in Governor Adeleke in Osun, as federal lawmakers who are now members of Accord Party. Are you still going to say they don't have elected representatives? The same thing with ADC. If ADC did not have House of Reps, I even know that Leke Abejide from Kogi State was an elected member of ADC before this whole katakata started. And Leke just defected from ADC probably a month ago, just on the eve of APC primaries. So they have that. So on what basis will you now say ADC should be deregistered when they already have an elected member of House of Reps? So the judgment coming barely 6 months to the election smacks of vendetta. And I think the judge should have heard that this is an academic exercise. This case has been filed too late.
He further said this is a bid to destabilize the opposition, who are gearing up to the 2027 general election, which is less than 8 months ahead. He called on INEC to act wisely and not heed the call.
What I will tell you is that it will damage the chances of these parties at the next election. Because people will start saying, what if the Supreme Court eventually now said we should be deregistered? And that means whatever they have invested to win election under this platform has gone. So it will not be a psychological thing. It is best for the government and INEC not to be quick to action. Remember what happened with INEC when they quickly acted on status quo antebellum, which led to a backlash. 5 parties that were involved most likely have instructed their lawyers to file a stay of execution and notice of appeal. And by the time this case is even resolved at the appellate court, they will go to Supreme Court. By the time all of these processes are concluded, 2027 election will have even come and gone. So that's why I say it's an academic exercise, because it cannot have a retroactive effect. So if the government of the day does not want to expose itself to being to eating up the polity, the INEC, I will advise, should not be in a hurry to implement this. They should rather allow the parties to ventilate and exhaust all the grounds of appeal, and then maybe if Supreme Court now gave an order, final order.
Speaking with a renowned lawyer, Barrister Fatai Abiodun, coming from the judicial point of view, said the parties involved can appeal the judgment as provided by the law. He said it is an easy thing as there is substantial room for appeal.
In 2020, INEC deregistered 74 political parties for failure to meet the constitutional threshold. So what the Federal Court Justice Level did today is not something that is new to the Nigeria electoral systems, but it came at a time when it was unexpected. Now, the effect of the implication of the registering political parties as the 2027 election move nearer is that it reduces political fragmentation. The judgment coming by this time, it has a political undertone and political meaning. And thank God, we are in constitutional democracy, which gives room for a right of appeal. Those affected political parties can appeal. They have the right to appeal within 60 days. If they exhaust the Court of Appeal, if they are not satisfied, they have the right to go to Supreme Court. And by nature of the urgency of the matter, I'm sure the Court of Appeal will give it the due attention that is needed. So there is no law that prohibits Court of Appeal from entertaining the matter.
According to Fatai, this would not truncate democracy by bringing in one-party system as many think.
For me, I don't want to sound sentiment that we are tailoring towards one political party. No, it is not only Tinubu that will be on ballot. It will be Tinubu and others. Law has nothing to do with emotion or sentiment. They are parallel lines. They do not meet. Court order has nothing to do with sentiment. It's sacrosanct. And it must be obeyed if we must enjoy the constitutional democracy that we are practicing in Nigeria. Within the next 24 hours, 48 hours, they know what to do. They will surely file an appeal at the Court of Appeal, either to stay the execution, asking INEC to stay put, pending when they will decide the matter. If they can get that stay of execution from the Court of Appeal, then the life has restored back, pending when everything will be neutralized.
He further said there is room for defection and coalition by the opposition to come together and get it better and stronger.
It also strengthens political competitions. So what people know is that now the other parties who are still surviving, they can still form together and fight the common cause. There are rules for collaboration. If the ADC as a vehicle cannot satisfy them, they should look at another political party.
For now, the future of ADC, Accord, APP, Action Alliance and Zenith Labour Party remains tied to the outcome of ongoing legal proceedings when they appeal the judgment. Whether the court eventually decide, the judgment is expected to resonate far beyond the courtroom and across Nigeria's political landscape. In Abuja for True Vision Television, Ebere Anyebo.